another episode. Today I'm doing a little bit something different. I'm gonna be answering my mic wasn't working. One more time. Hello, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm doing something a little different. I am answering your questions, the ones that I got in my DM inbox. The most common questions. I wrote I think 5 of them, and I'm going to answer them because I thought, you know what, if one person asked this, there is a high chance that more people have the same question. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in. Question number 1, why do I always binge on the weekends? This is probably the most common thing I hear, and it's often very misunderstood. Here's what's usually happening. All week long, you are eating 1,200 calories, maybe even less than that. Maybe you are skipping meals, maybe you're skipping your breakfast because someone told you that intermittent fasting is the best way to lose weight. Maybe you are eating super clean with no carbs, no sugar, no fun foods, like I call those foods that makes me happy. And you feel like you're doing so great because the scale is dropping, you're stepping on the scale every morning, you're losing weight, you feel so motivated, your meals are very small, you're feeling very disciplined, you have this motivation. But what you're actually doing is creating this physiological pressure cooker. Now, let me explain, and let's talk about your hormones for a second. Because when you undereat, especially when you are chronically undereating, your body downregulates important hormones. Or hormone number 1 we're going to talk about is your leptin, the hormone that regulates your hunger and metabolism. When calories drops, meaning you're eating freaking 1,200 calories, which I don't know how people survive on such a low calorie intake unless you're very short and not really heavy, then yes, maybe 1,200 calories would be a deficit for you, but it's very rare that I see women that I would say that 1,200 calories for you is ideal. But anyway, that's not the point here. Like I said, when you undereat, your hormones downregulate. So your leptin, which is the hormone that sends signals to your brain and telling you, hey, I'm full. Right? It's your hormone that regulates your hunger, your metabolism. And when your calories drops, leptin drops, which means that your hunger increases, your body slows down metabolism to conserve energy, and you don't get the signal saying, hey, I'm full, I'm satisfied. Another hormone that I want to talk about is your ghrelin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. That one increases. You start craving high carb, high fat foods, like sugary foods, a lot of carbs, a lot of fats, because your body is literally trying to save your life. Again, your body doesn't know you want to have 6-pack, okay? Your body just knows that there's not enough energy coming in. Third hormone that is very important to mention is your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. Cortisol goes up because your body sees these restrictions as stress. And elevated cortisol long term equals more fat storage, especially around your belly, poor sleep, and higher cravings. So if you're a woman who is like, I don't know, why do I have this belly? It just came out of nowhere. A high chance is that your cortisol is on freaking escalated and is just jacked up constantly because you're doing all these wrong things, right? Like starving yourself, HIIT trainings, Orange Theory, and just like go. So this is why. Now, when you're doing all these things, under eating 1,200 calories, 1,000 calories a day, by Friday, your willpower is drained. You're physically and mentally exhausted. Your brain is literally starving for dopamine, and your body is screaming at you, eat, Karen, eat, feed me. And what happens? You binge. You feel out of control. You eat all the things you told yourself you couldn't, or they're bad, because the whole weekend you keep reminding yourself these things, like, this is bad, I shouldn't be eating this, right? So then you cannot stop because you have one cookie and you go all in and you eat a whole pack. Again, your body is playing catch up. Then Monday hits and you feel gross. That's usually the word that you guys describe. I feel gross, I feel disgusted, I feel like I'm super heavy. And then you think, okay, I blew it, so what to do next? Well, you're gonna restrict again. And then the cycle repeats, right? Over and over and over. We're starting every single Monday. Now you're like, okay, Martina, how do I fix it? This is how you fix it. You need to stop under eating during the week, first thing, okay? You need to eat balanced meals with carbohydrates, protein, and fats. And you also need to eat enough calories. So not that, okay, I'm eating all 3 macros, but I'm eating 1,200 calories. And listen, I don't care if you say I'm not hungry, because if you're eating 1,000 calories and you're not hungry, that is a huge red flag. Again, like that is a huge red flag. You should feel hungry every 4, 5, 6 hours after balanced meal. You should feel hunger. Hunger is natural. You need to also plan things into or incorporate things that you call forbidden or bad and incorporate them into your week. So all the things that you're like, I shouldn't eat chocolate, I shouldn't have this brownie. Like, listen, if you're following me for a while, you know for sure that I am posting a lot of recipes, and when I make them, I don't throw them in the garbage, okay? I eat them. Why? Because I don't want to restrict. I love eating whole foods. I love eating clean. Like I 90% of the time eat clean, 95. But I still have those treats because I do have cravings. Cravings are normal. And I don't think that something is wrong when I crave chocolate. I just have freaking chocolate. So you should have the same mentality. Like you should incorporate these things into your day-to-day so that way you don't feel deprived. And you should also remove the guilt. Binging is not a lack of willpower, and that's, I think, that a lot of you fall short and feels like you're broken, your metabolism is broken, something is wrong with you, compare yourself to other women, thinking like, why the hell can I not have the same willpower around food? That's not that. You're literally just depriving yourself and your body is trying to save you. That's it. So that's a question that I got the most. I think like every single day someone asks me this. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Question number 2 is, I've hit a plateau. Nothing is working anymore. What should I do? First of all, plateaus are absolutely normal, and they're not a sign that your body is broken. They're a sign that your body has adapted, and it's actually a good thing because that's what your body does. Here is a little bit of science. Your metabolism is dynamic. Your metabolism is not a set number that is always the same. And it, like I said, it just doesn't stay the same. Now, when you eat in a calorie deficit for a long period of time, you probably don't even know what calorie deficit is, because a lot of you are like, oh, I'm eating 1,600 calories, where your maintenance is like 2,400. It's 800 calories away from your maintenance. So you're eating 1,600 calories for years and years and years, and it's like, I can lose weight, I have to eat 1,400. Well, what happens is when you do this for a long period of time, your body gets very, very efficient at using fewer calories. Your body is adaptation machine. I always say that. Now, we call this metabolic adaptation, which means that your body is slowing down everything so it can actually match the low calorie intake. Again, your body doesn't know you want to have 6-pack. It's just perceiving or receiving the signals that like, hey, there's not enough calories coming in. Let me just slow down everything. And now those 1,600 calories that used to work for you as a deficit, now it's your new set point. It's your new maintenance. It's the plateau. And a lot of people makes this mistake that they just drop their calories even lower, and they're like, why the hell I'm not able to lose more weight? I have to eat 1,200 calories, because you completely fucked up your metabolism. That's literally it. Also, let's not forget about your need, which is the non-exercise activity thermogenesis. All the subconscious movements that you do throughout the day, right? That also drops. I mean, like the walking, the fidgeting, right? You subconsciously start lowering your need because you're tired and you just don't have the energy to do all of these things because of the under eating. So now you all of a sudden moving less without even realizing that. So what to do when you hit a plateau? The answer, there's a few things. You don't need to lower your calories, most likely, especially if you're someone who's been in a calorie deficit for ages. There's a high chance you need a reverse diet or maybe just a diet break, which means that you slowly have to increase your calories back to your maintenance, or you just go all the way to maintenance. But again, it really depends on each individual. So ideally, you need a personalized approach. Just because what works for one person doesn't work for the other. I don't know anything about your diet history or dieting history, so I can't really give you the answer. Like, do you need a reverse or do you need just a diet break or maybe a few refeeds? I don't know. You definitely need to lower your cardio. If you're a cardio bunny and you're like literally spending hours and hours on treadmill, Stairmaster, whatever, elliptical every week, then the high chance is that you need to maybe focus just on strength training and reduce your cardio. You need to sleep more and manage your stress, which is a lot of times something that people like, whatever, like I sleep 5 hours, I feel good. No, you don't. You need to sleep a minimum of 7 to 9 hours to properly recover, because if your body is not recovered, your hormones are out of the whack, you deal with inflammation, you are not feeling great, your body is not recovering, you're feeling bloated all the time, and then the list goes on. So you also need to keep tracking, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I hit a plateau. And then it's like, here's few nuts. Here's a little bit of olive oil on the pan when I'm making my eggs. From little bit, it's freaking 200 calories, right? So just remember that hitting plateaus sometimes doesn't mean that you hit a plateau. Sometimes it means that you're just not tracking properly and you're over consuming calories, which is a lot of times something that I see, because people forget about those quote unquote little things, right? Like the oil, those few nuts here and there, the leftovers from your kids from their plate, right? Things like that. And another thing, when it comes to tracking, it's not just tracking food, it's also tracking your biofeedback. Your hunger, your energy, your sleep, your mood, your digestion, like those are the important things. We don't want to just track the scale, because you can be actually not losing weight on the scale, but you can be actually shrinking, losing inches, and you feel great. But if you like constantly hungry, have cravings, maybe lost even hunger, your energy is just like really bad, your mood, like you're irritated easily, like moody, your digestion is off, that is like a really, really bad sign that your body needs to get out of the deficit. So plateaus, remember, they are normal. Again, your body is adapting, and that's actually a good thing, because that's what your body is supposed to do, and it's just adjusting to the environment. That's it. So don't punish yourself. Don't try to slash your calories. Just be smart and follow all of those tips above. Question number 3 that I get asked is, how do I stop thinking about food all the time? Listen, you are talking to recovered bulimic. So I think that I can really give you a good answer for this question. And I love when you guys ask these questions, because of course, like I've been in your shoes. If you're someone listening, this is saying like, this is literally me. I'm like, okay, this is totally what I struggled with for 12 years. So if food is always on your mind, there is a good chance you are stuck in restriction mindset. Even if you are technically eating, you're just in restriction mindset. Your brain is designed to fixate on whatever it thinks it's scarce. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I shouldn't be eating that, or that's too many calories, or, well, I already messed up today, your brain locks in on food like it's a threat. Okay? Now, that's also why, in my opinion, cheat meals can be the worst thing, because you go from like being so good to going all in on every food you've been missing, and it almost like reinforces this idea that those foods are forbidden. And we should never look at food as forbidden. There is no good or bad. There is more nutritious food. There is the food that helps you to feel better, right? The whole foods. But also there is nothing wrong about having chocolate once in a while. Please don't take away chocolate from me, okay? Because I love chocolate. My boyfriend was like, you just love chocolate. I was like, yeah, I do really love chocolate. So again, that's why, in my opinion, cheat meals are really, really, really bad for us. When you remove the moral value from food, when there is no good or bad food, food loses the power, simply. Also, one other thing is, if you're not eating enough, your brain will obsess about food. It's literally just doing its job again. So before you think you have a willpower problem, I want you to ask questions yourself. Am I eating enough overall? Am I eating enough protein? Are my meals satisfying? Am I skipping meals or saving all my calories for the evening? These questions are important. So stop trying to be perfect, and instead, I just want you to get consistent with fueling your body, and the food noise will quiet down. I promise you that. Okay, because if you restrict, of course you're gonna think about food all the time. Like, of course you will. For questions, how can I hit my protein if I hate or cannot digest shakes properly? That's a great question, because you don't need to live on protein shakes. What you need is a plan. Protein doesn't sneak into your diet by accident. So you have to build your meals around it. I feel like people are like, okay, I need more protein, but they don't actually sit down and think about how to plan their meals. So here's just an easy options. 5 egg whites is about 17 grams of protein. A third cup of cottage cheese, it's about 20 grams of protein. Third cup of Greek yogurt, it's about 15 grams of protein. 100 grams of cooked ground turkey is about 25 grams of protein. 1 can of tuna. Can of tuna is the lifesaver. Whenever you don't have time to cook, you literally can just open can of tuna, and it's 20 grams of protein. Edamame or tofu, great plant-based options. And you can also go with a protein wraps, protein pastas, there's some protein breads. They all help, but you don't have to. You can easily have a whole grain, and you don't have to look for the high protein options, especially if you stuff the protein wrap with a chicken, right? And the one trick is also, you want to front load your protein. What I mean by that, don't wait until dinner to hit your protein. I want you to focus on eating 20 to 30 grams in every single meal, and plus snacks 10 to 20 grams per snack. That way you will be way over 100 grams by the end of the day if you're having 3 big meals and 1 or 2 snacks. That will make really, really easy for you to hit your total protein without feeling like you have to rely on shakes, protein bars, etc., because those are not the best options. I always say whole foods any day, every day. Another bonus that I will mention that I always talk about, if you forgot, protein also helps regulate your hunger hormone like ghrelin, keeps you fuller for way longer, and it also supports your lean muscle, aka your metabolism. So super important to get the protein in, but not from protein shakes. And question number 5 is, if you were starting your fat loss journey or your fitness journey all over again, what would you do differently? I love this question because I love to talk about my journey. So honestly, I think that the answer would be that I would stop trying to shrink myself. I would stop slashing my calories, doing tons of cardio, and only chasing fast weight loss. And instead, I would just start right away lifting weights, learning how to properly exercise, and stop doing shit ton of cardio and Stairmaster, because that's what I did for first couple of years starting my fitness journey. I would also learn to track properly macros and stop looking for all the quick fixes, like all the diets I've done in the past. Obviously, where I am today is just, results of all the mistakes I've made in the past. But I also tortured my body for so many years that I just wish that I've discovered a balance and how to fuel my body properly way earlier, because then I wouldn't have to struggle with eating disorder for so long. And also all the diets, every single diet I've ever tried led me to be more unhealthy. So I would definitely stop looking for a quick fix and diet. Again, I would eat enough. So I wouldn't definitely go to my fitness pal and ask my fitness pal to calculate my macros, because that was 1,200 calories for me. A big mistake. I would stop fearing certain foods and labeling them bad and good, because that's again what I was doing for the longest time. And I would hire a coach, because coaches need coaches. When I wasn't coach myself, I wish that I worked with someone who could have helped me, but also there's a lot of coaches who wouldn't be probably a great fit for me. So that means that if you're looking for a coach, you just need to find the one that really actually suits you and you're aligned with aligned with you and how you view fitness, because everyone is different. You can hire a bodybuilding style coach who's gonna coach you on eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, or you can hire a lifestyle coach who is like myself, like went through eating disorders and can maybe help you to have better relationship with food, because I've been in your shoes for 12 years. Or you can have a lifestyle coach who doesn't have that experience of having unhealthy relationship with food, but maybe focusing on very different things that are aligning with you and what you like and what you view as the good approach. So hiring a coach definitely earlier in my journey would be something that I would change, because I would progress way faster and learn so much faster without wasting time trying to figure things on my own. So that's what I would change. Now, if you're dealing with any of these struggles that I mentioned above, again, these are questions from you guys. You like binging, the eating plateaus, obsessing over food, not knowing how to eat without shakes. I really hope that this episode helped you. Let me know in the reviews, or send me a message on Instagram if you like this podcast, like this Q&A, because I enjoy them, and I feel like if I answer this question to one person, I'm most likely answering these questions to more people than just one. And if you need any support, if you want any support from someone who's been there in your shoes and help hundreds of women get out of the all or nothing mindset, shoot me a message. We can chat on Instagram, or you can also click the link in the show notes. There's also a free food freedom guide that I've wrote, so you can just grab that one, and hopefully that will also help you on your journey. And like I said, if you have any questions, shoot me a message. All the links are in the show notes. Have the best day of your freaking life, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.